Welcome to the Weekends Over podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and we're here to give you the update on college football last week. Taylor Thompson, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Taylor, and you should absolutely fade me on everything you ever do, especially college football. I absolutely suck.
This
What a
is
day,
this
Alex.
is true. Thank you for the enthusiasm with that, Taylor. Max, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Miss Max, I'm a male.
Yes, this is indeed true. He is a male.
I barely heard that, but okay.
Yeah. Taylor, go ahead and give us our
What?
updates for our picks for last week.
Okay, so Alex went 7-5. This was not like a great week for me. That's kind of why I'm talking shit about myself. And Max went 6-6, which is completely average in the sense of betting. I went 3-9. I don't really know how it's possible to go 3-9, but I went 3-9. Auburn basketball starts soon, but I'm following Auburn football standards, and you should absolutely fade me because you'd have been 9-3 this week, and you'd have a pretty big dick, but instead you have a small one.
Just
So,
like you.
well, no,
Um,
I have a big one, but let me finish with the total records, buddy, because I'm even behind in those, believe it or not. I'm 17-25 in our running competition. That's pretty bad. I mean, that's actually terribly bad. The brothers over there, Max and Alex, both 23-20 after a 7-5 for Alex and a 6-6 for Max. So they're winning you money. I would not touch anything I put my hands on. I absolutely suck dick.
yeah, me
Like
and Max
like
actually did.
big. Oh, a second, big dick. Apparently, when it comes to college football. Jared from Subway, please don't hurt me. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, thank you, Taylor. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, if you want to just keep on going, me and Max's picks, then just fade Taylor with picks. You'll probably do pretty good with that. So that would be my suggestion. But how about our locks, Taylor? How did we do last week on our locks?
Alex, you went one and you hit your lot. You deny your sneak, and Max went 2-0. And don't ask what I did. I hit my sneak. Did not hit my lock.
And you were wrong about me. I did not hit my lock. I hit my sneak. But thank you, Taylor.
Had that inverted. I think I actually hit my inverted. I actually hit my lock. It did not hit my sneak. I'm sorry.
You inverted it just like your
Yes,
penis. It is inverted.
it's inverted. So, yes, I hit mine, but did not hit my sneak. I'm sorry. Shout out Indiana.
Shout out to Max. Max has been killing his locks the past couple of weeks. I think he's gone like on a little hot streak. Same thing with his sneak. He's been doing good.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to keep up with those, keep up with
Lost,
Max's.
Alex actually
again.
went. Hold on a second, just a second. Alex actually went 1-1 on his sneaks. He actually hit one and did not hit one, and he went 0-1 on his locks. And I hit my lock and did not hit my sneak. And Max went 2-0 because he only did one each. Those are the official rankings. Sorry. Go ahead,
That's right.
Maxwell.
What do you want me to go ahead with?
You were gonna say something.
He was.
Was I?
He was, but
What was that?
someone talked over him.
Fuck you.
I forgot. Maybe,
I'm not talking the rest of the
I'm a little
podcast.
retarded, so
Okay, we'll go ahead and talk about our takeaways from this past week. So I'll kind of get it started off with the first takeaway from this past week is that Penn State is the same Penn State that they've always been. They're definitely going to benefit from a 12-team playoff because they'll be in, but I think they're the same team that they have been just not able to really win a big game, always lose to Ohio State. I looked up a stat. James Franklin is 1-12 versus top five teams at its time as a head coach, and none of those wins, I mean, has really benefited him in the long run. He hasn't done anything this week. He had a good chance if he were going to beat Ohio State at any time. this was the time to do it, and he still couldn't do it. His game plan offensively just was not there. I do understand that Drew Aller was a little banged up, but still just not able to capitalize multiple times at the goal line. I mean, it really comes down to coaching. I do like how he took responsibility for it. He said, as the coach at Penn State, there are expectations. He has not kind of met them. He said he's looking himself in the mirror. He needs to look at himself in the mirror a little bit harder because he's going to have to figure out how to win a big game. I understand Penn State wants to win a championship, and I mean, there's going to be a time.
I mean, the thing is, they
Franklin?
still could. Like, it's not like this year they still can. I'm not saying they're more likely to, but are they more likely to than y'all's team, like Alabama? I think they're about the same. They're just as flawed as y'all are. Like, the hate on Penn State is like, absolutely, they deserve to lose that game. Shitty. You go scored 13 points. Listen, I'm an Auburn fan. Go home and, like, I'm not talking shit, but like, sometimes teams just have bad games. I don't think Penn State's losing again. It's fine. They didn't, so they shouldn't, like, the new era to me is just a little bit different. I think it's like NFL, like scheduled losses. That was a possible schedule loss.
The point I'm getting at is
I was just to improve on that, like Alabama, Tennessee was a scheduled loss for Alabama, I still think.
no.
And that might, well, wait.
No, we expect to win that game. Every single season
used to expect to win that game. You're in a different college football. I'm sorry. That's a different college. It's a different college football. Do I sound dumb for saying that?
You do, because if you let me finish what I'm going to say, then you would hear me say we still expect to beat Tennessee every single year. I know Kalen DeBoer is a different head coach, but starting this year, there was no Alabama fan that was thinking, you know what? We're definitely going to lose that game. There's our loss. It was not against Tennessee, and it definitely was more likely to be against Georgia. The thing I'm saying about Penn State is that it's looking at not mediocrity, but the inability to take the next step to be that championship team. That, like I said, 12-team playoff is going to benefit them because they're going to make the playoff. But there is no one that is confidently going to say Penn State is going to win the championship.
Agreed.
What do you think, Max?
We
can't hear you.
We couldn't hear you say anything.
Oh my goodness. You can't hear me say anything now?
We can't. Go ahead.
Well, never mind then. I said, yeah, Taylor, you're a bitch. So, yeah.
Okay, just to follow up on your point. Like, I understand what you're saying, and it's a good one. Like, you have expectations, and I want both of you to respond to this because we're going to get in. Like, Alabama had a bye, so we're not going to talk about Alabama, and I'm not going to spend long on Auburn. But so I get it. Like, there's expectations, but do they not change and I'm going to, like, listen for this, but do they not change now that you can lose 2 games and still go win a national championship? I'm just curious. Like, I don't know. I've never been in that spot y'all are in, so I was just curious.
No, they definitely change with, like, having a new head coach, and plus, 2 wins, you're probably in for a college football playoff, especially Alabama being a dominant team. But I'm thinking, like, obviously we knew Tennessee was a good team this year, but none of us are thinking that. We're thinking it's a possibility to win, but you said it's a scheduled loss, and you said Alabama had a scheduled loss against Tennessee. And I can guarantee you no one thought that was going to be like a guaranteed loss. Even like going into it, I wasn't feeling confident, but I was like, yeah, we definitely lost that game.
Max, so do you think the same?
Yeah, I think the same. Sorry, I'm trying to work on this audio here.
It sounded good right there. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just like very hit or miss with it.
Sorry, guys.
But
anyways, continue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like the main point I was getting at Penn State is, are they ever going to be Ohio State?
It's a fair point.
Because they used to be. I know I wasn't alive. Well, I probably was alive. I might have been like a baby, but there was a time. Shout out to Joe Paul and Sandusky that they really know how to get in teams' asses, and
it's a fair point. I just think maybe not Alabama, but a lot of teams are going to have to face a different reality when it comes to where we
Yeah.
are now.
All right, I'll go to the next takeaway that I have. Clemson is they are frauds. I think they fooled everybody. I did not see that coming. I thought they would kill Louisville. I thought they were the team to beat in the ACC, and I mean this will go for a cold take for me as well. I mean I was completely wrong. Dabo didn't have the boys prepared. Cade Klubnik was he was one of the guys actually climbing up the Heisman leaderboards. And I mean, they just thoroughly the whole game. I mean, they did not play good. They kind of got dominated by Louisville, which is kind of surprising because Louisville defensively allowed so many points with Miami. And I know Clemson doesn't have the offensive firepower that Miami does, but I thought they'd be able to put up more points. They did not. And their defense also did not look good as well. So I was wrong. Dabo's going to have to start doing NIL because I just don't think he doesn't have the talent that he should have out there playing that he could be. But that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I don't know anyone in my circle that thought Clemson was going to lose that game, and especially the way they did.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just straight up didn't.
Yeah, Max, what do you think?
They got their ass whooped. That was pretty bad. That was ugly. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, I guess they kind of had everybody fooled. It was, they didn't play anybody for a few weeks after they got killed by Georgia, and everybody just kind of assumed, oh well, Clemson's back, and um, no, they're not. They're still garbage.
Yeah, and it's also one thing they're definitely out. They're not going to make the they're not going to make
They,
the playoffs unless they win ACC title. I
uh,
guess that's the only way. I don't know if that's a possibility though.
but so I'll transition into my two takeaways because that one's off that one. Um, Let me just clear something up real quick because it has nothing to do with playoff picture, but SMU does because it's one of my takeaways. But I'll just talk about Auburn real quick. Um, I don't know what the hell. This is kind of the first time this year I've questioned Hugh. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying fire him because he's about to flip 2 more 5 stars. I don't know how he's going to flip 2 more 5 stars, but he's going to flip 2 more 5 stars. Auburn's probably going to finish with a top 5 class, but he's got to go get a quarterback. Like he's absolutely, and money's been set aside for him to go get a quarterback, over $2 million. But I don't understand the play calling in that Vandy game. Like, the running joke's probably going to be like Pavia 3-0. He beat you again. Pavia had a shitty game. He really did. He was like 9 of like 30 for like 125. Like they ran for nothing. Like Auburn's defense did not lose them that game. Like
Can I bring this up? Obviously, bad quarterback play, but offensive scheming too. Like
I
I
agree.
like y'all have to probably. I mean, y'all kind of did. Y'all ran the ball really well, but it seems like y'all just start getting away from the things that y'all find successful sometimes, and I don't really understand it. Yeah, but yeah, definitely QB wise. I mean, that's y'all's biggest problem. Y'all have the talent there. Jarquez is a great running back. Y'all have good young wide receivers. Defensively, y'all aren't the best defense, but y'all are a sound defense. Y'all are
They're
right
all
there with everybody.
freshmen.
Yeah.
They're all freshmen playing right now. So like that just makes it how good they can be.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry for interrupting you, but like
Oh, you're good. This is fine.
the point I would make on scheme wise is nobody respects our quarterback to the point where they put 9 people in the box. Like that's the problem with scheme. Of course you want to run Jarquez. And Kentucky's just so bad that you could have done it anyway. To the point because their DBs were so bad, so that Peyton could actually throw the ball. Vandy's a gap sound team. I think I said this a couple weeks ago, but they're a gap sound team. You're not just gonna move down the field on them. You have to make big plays, which is like Alabama. Ironically, is the team that's actually gashed them the most when it comes to points and yards, and it was not because they were running the ball up the middle. It was
Big
not
players.
because they were making 2 yards. It was because, and it's kind of reason they lost, to be honest with you, is because they were throwing the ball 60 yards down the field and then scoring in 2 plays. Vandy's tough to beat. Don't get me wrong, but my God, man. And I get it. Auburn's field goal kicker has diverticulitis, so they're playing a freshman. Like it, no, he really does. Like he lost
Yeah,
six.
I know.
It's not funny. But it is funny. He lost 60 pounds this year. He weighs 165. You should not be able to lose 60 pounds when you weigh 165, but he
I wish
did.
I could.
Don't fight that guy.
So we missed 2 field goals, and let me just tell you, this last thing I'm gonna say on it. I'm at the game. Y'all know I go to the games. Alex and Max probably know the seats I have because of the pictures I post. It's behind the offense when they're going towards the north end zone. We run a rollout after we run for 15 yards. Dude runs a sit down, kind of like a sit down crossing route about 20 yards down the field. Me's wide open for the first 2 seconds. And Peyton Thorne just sits there like he's fucking retarded. And I'm like, throw the ball. Throw the ball. He waits until the cornerback can contest it, and then he throws the ball. That's the issue we have.
I
It's
think
Peyton
you.
Thorne.
I think you should send him a DM, letting him know that he needs to throw the ball.
I mean, he gets paid a lot of money. I don't feel terrible about telling him how stupid he is. I wish I could make that money for that. But yeah, man, Auburn probably gonna win one more game this year, ULM, and that's it. If they beat ULM, I hope their recruiting class stays together. But my last point before I go to Max, let him talk about A&M is SMU. So ironically, about a few weeks ago, I think it might have been our first pod. Was it our first pod?
First or second?
Yeah. So I said, and I didn't call it in picks, so I'm not gonna like hide horse it too
It was
bad.
when
But
we were talking about top 12 teams to look out for.
SMU is in the driver's seat to make the ACC title game. I'm not saying they're going to win, but if they win out and they're scheduled, that was their last tough game. If they win out, they're going to Charlotte and they're going to be playing Miami for the ACC championship. They absolutely beat the shit out of Pitt. I'm just saying, I mean, Rhett Lashley, he's done a great job there. I've heard they got NIL has been a good thing for them, funding wise. They absolutely could be a playoff team. If you when we go to our playoff rankings, which is going to be reacting to the top 12, they're like the first team out. Like they're right there. Like they're a Cam Ward pick 6 away from being in. That's all I had to say about them. But just shout out SMU.
I'll say they play Boston College. Watch out for Boston College.
Is that home or road?
That's on the at home, but they also play Virginia on the road. Both of those they're decent teams. They're not great teams. The SMU will be favored and they should beat them, but just watch those. They also play Cal. Not really worried about Cal.
Their one loss this year was BYU at home. So they have lost at home this year. That's a Big 12 team. It's a playoff team right now. We'll talk about them later. But I'll let Max go into
Texas A&M. They'll have to win out everything though to make the playoffs. If they lose
they have
title,
to win
they're out. Yeah.
They have to win the ACC title game.
Yeah.
If not, Miami gets in as the one-loss ACC champion.
All right, Max, tell us about A&M.
Win. You knew South Carolina had a really good defense. Texas A&M's quarterback. They came in against South Carolina. Against LSU with Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, it just said my internet was unconnected. But against LSU and second half they put in the other guy. What's his name? The backup. Not the backup anymore.
Marcel Reed.
Reed. Yeah, Reed. They put in Reed and LSU had no answer. I kind of figured South Carolina would have a week to find an answer, and they did. Texas A&M. I still, a lot of people like are saying their defense is elite, but I mean, South Carolina, moved the ball pretty well on them. I mean, I still think Texas A&M has a shot for the playoffs. I mean, they got everything in front of them. They got Texas. If they can beat Texas, they can do it. And they're still it's still up. For SEC championship. So
they have a non-conference game this week, and I think they play Auburn at home at Auburn, which Auburn's not going to challenge them. Maybe I thought they would have. If
y'all will play them close. Y'all have actually, for some reason,
I will say this for some fucking reason. The thing about Hugh Freeze, they say, is he loses a game he shouldn't. You could argue a bunch of them this year, and they say he wins a game he shouldn't.
He already did Kentucky.
No, it's not Kentucky. Kentucky sucks. We beat them 10 times out of 10.
What about Arkansas?
No, Kentucky sucks. I'm not talking
They
about Arkansas.
They did Ole Miss.
Well, I'm just saying Kentucky would not. They jumped out 10-0 after we played terrible and like take the game.
Kentucky could beat y'all. 10 times out of 10 is an exaggeration, but y'all will probably win majority.
Do you get my point? Is that if there was going to be a game he won this year that he didn't left, it's not Alabama, it's A&M. Because it's a home game, probably a night game. That's my point. But other than that, they do not have to beat Texas. If they would have won that game and won the Auburn game, they could have lost to Texas and still made it. Now they have to beat Texas. That's at home. But I still have a lot of faith. I think this was they should have beat Notre Dame. This should have been their scheduled loss. Like, I get it. It's tough to play there at night. South Carolina, y'all are all looking at me because I'm saying scheduled loss, but we're playing in the NFL now, man. Like, that's what it is.
We did call that. Me and Max talked about that. The South Carolina home game at night, sandstorm playing. Yeah, it's a tough place. They
got me on that one.
All right, we'll go into our cold takes. Like I said, I already talked about mine pretty much. Clemson, I was completely wrong. I thought y'all were good. I mean, I don't really care if y'all are bad though. I'm not a huge Dabo guy anyways, so I think he needs to I know he doesn't like NIL, but if he wants to be a good team and successful, I think he's going to have to start utilizing that like every single other coach has. But that's mine, was just Dabo. Does anybody else want to kind of talk about a cold take? Besides,
I mean,
Taylor is a cold take.
I am a cold take. Yeah, y'all can do what. I mean, shit. I mean, don't ever use my shit. Just say, oh, Taylor picked that team. I'm picking the other team. I mean, fuck. I'm retarded, I guess. I don't know.
Max?
Cold take. There's 6 games that I didn't get right.
True. All right. We'll head into the Heisman odds. A little update for you. Cam Ward is the new leader, tied with Travis Hunter at plus 200. Oregon QB Dylan Gabriel plus 300. Boise State Ashton Genty is now at plus 500. These are all from BetMGM, by the way.
Shout out BetMGM.
Yep. Ole Miss QB Jackson Dart, after his big game, has shot up the leaderboards to plus 2,000.
If he beats Georgia, then y'all owe me some shit.
That is true. If he does beat Georgia, he will be more to consider. But
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna really talk about him unless he does that, because there's just no way.
I was gonna say, even if he beats Georgia, I think he has to have like really not crazy numbers, but like A+ numbers. Even like if they beat Georgia in a close, ugly game, I don't think but I think he still has to put up really good numbers against Georgia. And I don't necessarily see him doing that.
Yeah. So being a playoff team is not enough for Jackson Dart.
A lot, like if he has bad numbers, then
not to win the Heisman. No.
Imagine they win, but he has no passing touchdowns.
I mean, in the end, this is more or less who's going to be a finalist.
He could win a defensive game.
Yeah, all right, it's going to be Cam Ward or Travis Hunter. This is more like who's going to be the finalist. I'm just saying, like, he's going to make it into the finalist if he wins that Georgia game.
Oh yeah,
I agree with y'all. It's Travis Hunter or it's Cam Ward
or Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel is but he's still a third.
Yeah,
he's getting hurt with the number 1 ranking. Like, you have the best team in football ranking. Blah blah blah.
I'm probably on Travis Hunter. That's kind of honestly okay. Cam Ward's number 1. I think he's the one to win it all. I think Travis Hunter is the best player in college football, and then I think Ashton Genty, I think his time is not here anymore. I know he didn't have a bad game. He's just not putting up the stats that he was.
He's just too good, not historic. He needed to be historic.
Yeah, at Boise State, yes. If he was on another team, then like a big team, then he would be probably still front runner, because he hasn't really had a bad game. I mean, 130 yards is not a bad game and 2 touchdowns. But yeah.
Teams are basically, I'm not saying they're trying to like shut it down, but like they're just putting teams in they're just putting players in the box and go throw the ball and
It
beat
has
us.
helped their team. I mean, you saw their quarterback put up 4 touchdowns the other game. But yeah, does anybody else have any Heisman thoughts?
My last ones are it's either going like the rest of the conversation is bullshit. It's about who's like Kubnick's out, like Clemson lost, like who is gonna make it as the 4 because they normally take 4, right? It's about 4.
Yeah,
Every once in a while they'll take it. I know it's by percentage, so they might take 6 if that percentage is close, but it's either gonna be Cam Ward or Travis Hunter, I think.
yeah, no, definitely. What do you think, Max? Who do you have?
Yeah. Kevin Warner, Travis Hunter, one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and go into our top 12.
Review.
Top 12 review. We're no longer giving our 12 because they are posted now. We had our first college football 12 team playoff posted, and we'll kind of go through the list. So, number 1 is Oregon. So, Oregon is number 1. Number 2 is Georgia. 3 is Miami. 4 is BYU. Number 5, Ohio State. Number 6, Texas. 7, Penn State. 8 is Indiana. 9 is Tennessee. 10 is Notre Dame. 11, Alabama. And then 12 is Boise State. So just my initial thoughts on this. A great game would be Indiana and Tennessee. That 8-9 game would be so much fun. I think the defense of Tennessee going against Indiana's offense would be something to see. Uh, for me, I know I hate saying this because they played so good this year, but it's like, man, would they be able to do the stuff that they're doing against the Tennessee defense? Because Tennessee defense is great. Also, I mean, us Alabama going to Texas, that would be horrible.
Boring. Yeah, we've seen the matchup 3 years in a they would change that.
I
They
would
would
hate to
change.
do it.
I'm pretty sure like they right now they put that out, but if you look at it, like I just don't think there's any way. Like y'all probably go to Penn State and Notre Dame probably goes to Texas.
I would prefer that more. I don't want
Well,
to
I
go
did.
play
They're
Texas.
not going to put. I don't know what the committee's going to do on that, but I figure they're going to try to avoid first round conference matchups.
Well, they could be doing that just because they're like, okay, we don't want an all SEC championship game, so let's go ahead and knock it out first round.
But you could still avoid that. I mean, like you can put. Uh,
I mean, yeah, swapping Alabama and Notre Dame.
yeah, I mean you could avoid that in that sense. I'm more interested by the first team outs. LSU's 15th, which means that LSU Alabama game is an elimination game.
Yes, 100%. We all knew that though.
I know, but to me it's cool seeing it as like now that the playoff rankings are out, it's like the first official elimination game. Like, yes, absolutely. Like, and A&M being ahead of LSU, I don't understand really.
Isn't SMU the first team out?
They are. I get that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't really have much to say on this. This is pretty much what mine would have been.
Dang,
Like Alex said, if I had to pick a matchup that was just like, oh, this is so cool. Oh God, this is the thing is Indiana, Tennessee. Like that's so cool to me. Like meaning something. Like you don't see that. So,
mhm.
but yeah,
I'm looking at mine from last week, and I had it pretty well. I had Oregon 1, Georgia 2. I
a lot
had
changed.
I had Clemson, of course, still in there, so replace that. But I had 5, 6, Ohio State, Georgia. Excuse me, Ohio State, Texas. Right. I had Penn State at 8. They're at 7. I had Notre Dame at 10. Uh, I mean, mine was pretty good. I didn't have Alabama in there, but mine was looked pretty good. I think all
Well, I
ours
mean,
did.
A&M losing put Alabama in there.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, you have any thoughts, Max?
Um, not really. I mean, it's not early. I mean, like I said, it's I mean, it's very interesting with some of the matchups, but you know, we're gonna elimination game this weekend. I'm sure we'll have a few more elimination games in the regular season
Mm-hmm.
before we start.
I'm curious that Indiana Ohio State game. Indiana wins. Ohio State, they're out, right?
Well, they got one loss, right?
Yeah.
That would be 2.
They're not out with 2.
You don't think so? I mean,
They're
what
not,
if?
Big Ten and SEC are going to get the elite
Yeah.
Big Ten teams are going to get treated like SEC teams.
Yeah.
2 losses.
agree.
You're in.
Yeah,
Would Alabama get left out with 2? No, you're going to say no, correct?
maybe.
Right. So Ohio State wouldn't get left out with 2.
Yeah.
Now, Indiana with 2 would get left out, but I mean, so would South Carolina. But I mean, you have to base it off of what they are. Ohio State's not going to get left out with 2 losses.
Yeah,
If
and they have the Penn State win.
right. So yes, so they're not getting left out.
Penn State loses another game, they out.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, I don't know their schedule.
Just based off their, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with what the SEC does. I don't know, because I think the ACC at this point, now that Clemson's lost, only getting 1 team in.
Yeah, they're 100% only getting 1 team.
The Big 12 now
unless SMU wins out and Miami wins out, and then Miami's 1 loss. That's the only.
That'd be kind of cool because that's kind of what you look forward to.
Oh no, I don't want 2 ACC. ACC is just bad this year. Besides
I think
Miami,
the Big 12's only getting 1 in unless Iowa State beats BYU.
Yeah. I mean, both of them are bad. I'd rather have Big Ten, SEC dominant, one of each of those, and then of course the Power 5. So
right. So
and then Notre Dame,
I think Penn State's in. Actually, now that you said, I actually think Penn State's in with a loss. So I think they're kind of locked in.
Yeah. All right. I kind of agree. We'll go ahead and start going into our pick'ems. So we'll start off with Miami at Georgia Tech. Miami is favored by 11. The total is 63.5. I'll start this one off. I mean, last week I had Duke covering against Miami. They were killing them. They were up by a lot. Then they just decided they don't know how to play defense anymore. So I guess I got to stop hating on Miami. I'll go Miami covers the 11 at Georgia Tech. Max, what do you think?
Is quarterback playing?
I think he is. I don't know. It's Tuesday. I really don't. That's the problem.
I'll go Georgia Tech cover.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
just because
I can't predict Miami games, so I'm not going to try to. Georgia Tech could, Miami could. I mean, I'm still waiting for them to drop the ball.
It's got to happen one of these times.
They've done it. They've gotten close so many times, but they still haven't done it.
Oh, it's TCU from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Alex.
Oh my God, I lost.
I got burned.
Dang.
Fuck you.
I'm going to let you go first and pick opposite.
Okay, that's what you really should do. I got burned picking Duke to cover, and they fucking lost by 24 instead of 20. So, yeah, Miami minus 11.
All right. Max, we'll go to you first for this one. Florida at Texas. Texas minus 21, total 47.5. Florida looked good last week against Georgia. DJ Lagway is out, I believe, for this game. But, I mean, backup quarterback, whatever his name is for Florida, I mean, he's not really backup. He's played a lot for them. So, whatever his name is, I can't remember.
That's the third string quarterback. Their backup quarterback was the white guy that got hurt. Mertz. He already ripped up his knee. This is like a freshman.
Oh, whoops. He looked good. He didn't look bad.
Give me Texas cover.
Me too.
Yeah, with Florida without Lagway. If they had Lagway, I would definitely go Florida cover, but without him, no way. And even without Mertz, especially without Mertz, no way.
I'm tempted on this one. 21 points is a lot. Florida has. I mean, we can all agree that Florida has looked better, like no doubt from the beginning of the year. But yeah, I thought that was Mertz playing, so I am actually going to change my mind. Texas covers the 21 points. All right, Taylor. We'll go to you for this one. This is a fun one to talk about. Georgia at Ole Miss. UGA minus 2.5, total 54.5. Your baby is at quarterback. How is he going to do against the big bad Georgia defense?
Here's the problem. I think Kirby Smart is going to use this line, even though they're favored by 2.5, as a way of disrespect. He going to go, they only thought we were going to win by 2.5. That's what this motherfucker does. I hate Kirby Smart. I hate Georgia. I hope they lose. Ole Miss money line. Fuck Georgia.
Ain't no way.
Nobody barks at no grown man can bark at me. That's ridiculous. Fuck you if you bark, you stupid pieces of shit. Ole Miss money line.
Taylor, you don't realize it, but when they bark, it's because they got that dog in them, and I'm going with Georgia. This is an easy cover for me, 2.5. I mean, Lane Kiffin is never won a big game in his career as a head coach, and he's not going to, especially not against Georgia. I don't care if they're playing at Ole Miss. They could be playing anywhere in the world at any time. If Lane Kiffin is your head coach in a big game, he's already going at coaching Florida. So I mean, this is over. Georgia wins, covers. I like the under for this game. 54.5 is a lot. But yeah, I'm going Georgia cover. Max.
Georgia cover as well. And I do. It's interesting. I do want to go with Ole Miss, but I can't. Georgia cover.
I hate Georgia.
I
I hope I lose. I
um
hate Georgia. I'm an Auburn fan.
You don't gotta hope.
I don't know if anybody realizes this, but this is pretty like y'all might, but like Auburn fans hate Georgia fans a lot more than they hate Alabama fans. They really do. And they hate Georgia a lot more than they hate Alabama. Just annoying. I mean,
I feel like they are more annoying. The barking is something that is
oh my
loud.
God. And at least for the longest time, y'all actually had won shit. Before they won their first national title, they act like they were y'all. And they'd be like, bro, you haven't won shit.
Mm-hmm. All right, Michigan at Indiana. Indiana minus 14, total 48.5. I mean, Michigan's been horrible. They did have a better passing offense last week, but I mean, they're still awful. Signetti, they're gonna have it rolling. They're getting ready for this Ohio State game. I do kind of worry about looking past them, but I don't think they look past Michigan. I think they have everything under control, and them being at home also helps me out here. I have Indiana covering
We
14
have
points
that.
against Michigan.
We're going to do 14.5.
Is that 14.5?
Well, we're going to do 14.5 or 13.5. Whatever you want to do
I
13.
I don't
I don't
care.
want to do it. I don't want to do even number. I want a hook. So let's do 13.5.
Okay. I have Indiana covering 13.5. Max, what do you think?
Verse 13.5.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan is dog shit on offense. So
Yep.
as they've been all season.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana plus 13.5. I am kind of scared because it seems like a game Indiana still wins, but Michigan somehow. The one thing that Alex said is right is like Indiana's never been in this spot, so normally you overlook this game, but this is actually probably their second biggest game of the season. So like I don't think they're gonna overlook it. Like I think they're gonna take this as like their second biggest game of the year. So yeah, I think Indiana covers.
I changed my pick. Give me Michigan to cover.
Okay. I
If you're going with Indiana, I got Michigan.
okay, yeah, you should fade me.
We'll come back to this. Yeah, give me Michigan then. Max, Army at North Texas. Army minus 6. The total is 63.5. North Texas is actually a good team, 5-3 this year. Army, of course, undefeated. Quarterback is injured. They don't know if he's playing or not this Saturday. So this is a tough one, especially knowing that QB might not be playing. He has cellulitis of his leg, which basically is like an infection. So I don't know if y'all needed to know that.
We're gonna do 5.5 instead of 6.
Okay, Max.
Give me Army cover. I think they could do it even with their backup.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way they play.
Okay. Taylor.
I think Army covers minus 5.5 against North Korea. I mean, North Texas. And yeah, I mean, if you don't pull for Army, then, and I'm watching the election right now, then you're not an American, and you should go to North Korea.
Who'd you vote for?
Who'd you vote for?
Kim Jong Un.
Me too.
That
I hope
was-
he wins. I hope he wins North Carolina. Yeah, no, I got Army -5.5 against North
Uh,
Texas.
I really wish I knew if the quarterback was playing or not, but because I mean they only beat Air Force last week by like 24-3 or 20-3. They only won by 17. Air Force is horrible. I know that he wasn't really.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, they're not going to score. That's kind of what happened.
Yep. Give me North Texas. I'm so sorry, Army. I'm gonna go North Texas.
So Alex is taking North Korea to cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that means he actually voted for Kamala Harris for president.
Which is also true. Taylor, Colorado at Texas Tech.
pick.
Colorado with -3.5 against at Texas Tech. What do you think?
I think that Colorado is going to cover. But I don't know how much. But Shador Sanders is certainly not going to enroll for classes next semester.
He already said that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no. Colorado covered. Texas. This is actually a sneaky tough one because
It is.
Texas. I've been proven wrong on this because, like Alex, you can go back to the last pod and, like I said, Texas has been terrible, and Alex said absolutely they have not. So you might want to fade me here. So fade me on this. Colorado covers.
Max, what you got?
Colorado covers. They'll have the better players, especially on offense. I think they get it done.
But what do you think about Patrick Mahomes if he comes back for that game?
You mean Kermit the Frog?
Kermit the Frog.
Um, I don't think it matters much. As long as Deshaun Watson's not there.
I don't think he's gonna be there.
I have Texas Tech, by the way, covering, just in case y'all were curious.
So take Texas Tech. Actually, I think if I could pull a stat up where me and Max take a team and Alex takes the other, I think Alex is like 8-0.
You should switch.
You're
we should-
switching?
No, Taylor, you should switch.
No,
You want to switch?
no,
Yeah.
don't do it. Don't do it. No, keep your pick. I like that. Iowa State at Kansas. Kansas seems like they're just losing every single close game. I don't know what they did last week, but I just know at the beginning of the year they were losing every single close game. Iowa State, big loss last week against Texas Tech. I think they pretty much sold
2.5, not 3.
2.5. Okay, I have Iowa State. Whatever Rocco QB name, I think they have a game. Come back.
We can ask Tyler, big Iowa State guy.
True. I think this is they're gonna try to make up for everything. They win. They beat Kansas. Taylor.
Max. Oh, ISU -2.5.
Oh, God.
Kansas wins.
What do you say, Max?
I think the same. Iowa State wins.
Squad right.
Kansas boo boo.
True. Okay, we'll go to you, Taylor. Oklahoma at Missouri. Missouri 1.5. Total 42.5.
So I'm gonna do something, and this is I'm helping y'all out here so I can take Missouri. I think Oklahoma is finally gonna win an SEC game. Oklahoma money line. Missouri sucks. They're the worst good team ever in SEC.
Okay.
Auburn in the Sun Belt?
Huh?
Do what?
Auburn in the Sun Belt?
The Sun Belt.
Auburn's not good. I said the worst good team.
Oh, I thought you said the first SEC team.
No, I think they're gonna finally win. I think. Yes, that's a good point. They did beat Auburn, actually. Fuck you.
Should Auburn be in the Sun Belt?
We might be 9-3. Actually, I think we should be in the SWAC.
Yeah, that's American's pretty good.
Okay, let me. I think Missouri's finally gonna lose a game they weren't supposed to.
Okay.
Does that sound better?
Okay, Oklahoma wins. Max, who you have?
Oklahoma money line.
Oklahoma money line as well. Missouri sucks ass. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna go Oklahoma money line. I was just thinking about if Brady Cook plays. I don't even think it matters. I think they still lose.
Give me Missouri. Missouri's at home. Oklahoma, I mean, Missouri's bad. I think y'all are forgetting how bad Oklahoma's been this whole year.
Hey, Brady Cook is not playing.
I don't care.
That quarterback is terrible.
Oklahoma's terrible.
Not as bad as Drew Pine.
Oklahoma's defense is better than Missouri's defense. They're both scoring 0 points. So who's going to score the touchdowns? Oklahoma's defense.
Luther Burton will get something going. All right, final game. College football this week, the big one for us. We actually have one more after, but big game.
Well, you want to do the basketball game first, and then y'all can
We'll
do
do
y'all's?
that. We'll do that after. We'll do that
Okay.
after all the college football. Alabama LSU. I'll kind of get this one started off. Heat to the game. Alabama's gonna have to figure out the penalties, the stupid mistakes, especially LSU at night. That's gonna be the key to the game. I think we're more talented than them, but I think we are less disciplined. And man, this is gonna hurt my soul. I'm gonna do it though. LSU money line. I'm so sorry, guys. This hurts my heart, but I think it's what's gonna happen. The way that we've been playing, it happened at Tennessee.
My God.
Unless, I mean, we had a bye. Maybe the bye helps, but LSU money line. Taylor.
I'm going to take Alabama to cover.
Okay.
2.5. The reason I'm doing that is because I think Alabama's finally going to win a big game. They're 1-1 so far. They beat Georgia.
Was that not a big game?
Big.
I misspoke. I did misspeak. I did misspeak. I'm sorry. I think Alabama's going to go 2-1 in their big games this year. How about that? Like I do. I think he's going to be fine there. They probably should have beat Tennessee if we're being honest. I think they're better than everybody, but even though they beat them, Georgia and Texas, and I think they beat LSU.
All right.
But it might go to overtime because my God, Baton Rouge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying. All right, Max. Final take. Alabama LSU. What do you think? Who's gonna win? Why are they gonna win?
I'm gonna say Alabama to cover because I love Alabama, but I really think the bye week could help us out a little bit. Against Georgia, you saw what happened there in that first half. Even if we could do something similar to that, I think we, start out fast and get up and kind of take the crowd out of it a little bit. I think that could help us out a little bit. But I'm going Alabama to cover.
I had one more last remark. Seeing them play against the A&M QB who could run around, that does give me some hope. Jalen Noah is the ultimate dual threat dude. Like he's the one that, but that might make them more prepared as well.
That's what I was thinking. That's actually what I was thinking.
So we'll have to see.
I took Alabama.
The week to prepare will be huge. It's just you understand where I'm coming from. Those mistakes that we've been making, like it can go either way. I won't be surprised if we win or we lose. We do have one more. Oh, do you have something to say? Sorry.
I was gonna say Miller can't turn the ball over.
Sure, he can't. He can't do that, or we're going to lose.
Yeah.
We do have one more big game, guys. Y'all know what we're doing, right?
College basketball.
No, not yet. Shut up.
Oh.
We're gonna go ahead and do this one, the biggest game of the weekend.
Florida State.
FSU at Notre Dame. Taylor Thompson famously had to get his cheeks clapped by Jerry from Subway. Taylor.
It's actually Jared.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. You just got a random guy named Jerry in there, but I want you to kind of describe how that went, and then also what will you do this weekend if Florida State loses to Notre Dame?
They don't lie about their footlongs, I guess. If Florida State loses, I don't know they're gonna lose. So I mean, fuck. I guess I'll I'll become a Democrat. Shit, my asshole hurts. I'm not doing anything else.
That was a good comment to make. Max, what are you going to do if Florida State loses?
He's gonna joke.
I'm gonna go kill an animal.
You're gonna kill an animal?
Yeah.
All right. What is the place called?
I'm gonna go hunting.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm gonna stab it 50 times.
Jump out of the tree and land on the deer.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna stab him. I'm gonna beat him up to death.
That's a good technique if you do
Alex,
that.
what are you gonna do?
If Florida State loses to Notre Dame, do
They're
we know the spread on this?
26-point
Yeah.
underdogs. I mean, damn, what are we doing right now?
In honor of Barry McCockiner on Twitter, I will inject myself with 3 marijuanas if
Oh
Florida
wow,
State.
that's worse than anything we've done.
Yeah, this will certainly end my life, but I can't handle another Florida State loss. So I think it'll just have to be done. Shout out to Barry.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. We do have one college basketball game that we're going to talk about really quickly. Auburn versus Houston.
These are off of not any Vegas lines because it's so early. I could probably look, but it's Bart Torvik, which is like a predictive, and he has like which is pretty accurate if you want to go bet. He goes through each team's what he thinks the lines like what they should win by and what the line should be. And I think he has so that's what he has this game at over and the line. It's
Over
Auburn Houston
in
in
Houston.
Houston, but it's a neutral site game. It's at the Rockets Arena.
It's not a neutral site.
It's
It's
like
in Houston.
next year they play in Birmingham. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Like yeah.
So total 137 and a half. Houston is favored by 4.5. I'm gonna go with Houston. I saw them play. Obviously, they played a nobody, but that defense of Houston is just insane. I think it's kind of a tough game to start off the season for Auburn, especially quote unquote neutral site. But I also love the under in this game. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I got Houston not because Auburn's a bad team, just because tough game to start off the season for them.
Well, Max go.
Yeah. Nice.
Your turn.
What you just said, Mexico. Anyways, I'm gonna go Auburn to win because I love Taylor Thompson. He's my dad.
Oh,
And
we
I
did
love
forget to
Auburn.
mention. We did forget to mention earlier. This I don't know why I'm bringing this up now. Vandy is the daddy of
The state.
Alabama. Yeah, they are the daddies. We all recognize this.
Although, yeah, I mean, it's not like, and then like a lot of people want to talk about Diego Pavia. I think he threw for like 120 yards.
He did play like.
I can't wait for Trump to get elected so they can deport him.
Me too. This is to me, and I'm not. That's a funny ass comment, but to me, this is really tough to pick. I just wanted to put it on here more. Not like don't base this prediction off of what we're gonna do because we are gonna do a lot more college basketball. This was just to show how serious we are about college basketball. It's the best game of the weekend, and I'm not. I mean, it really is if you look at it. Auburn hadn't played their first game yet. They played FAU. They won by 35, I think. They didn't use all their players. They're using Broom at the 4 right now more than they are using him at the 5. They're using their other center that they brought back, Cardwell, at the 5. They get that dude from Georgia Tech, looks pretty good. But yeah, Auburn's probably gonna lose, but fuck it, I'm gonna take Auburn money line. This does nothing to Auburn if they lose. I think Auburn has to win 22 games this year, according to that same site, to be a 3 seed. That's fine. 22-10, I think they easily find that. That's going like 15. That's going like 12-6 in the league, I think, and 10-3 in the non-con. They can lose to Houston, lose 2 in Maui, and be fine. Or lose one in Maui, lose one to Duke, and they play Purdue in Birmingham. I'm gonna take Auburn money line. I would not be shocked if they won because Auburn's really good. They're not Alabama good yet. I will go ahead and say that they're not Alabama good yet, but I think a lot of teams are going to overlook Auburn because of how good Alabama is, and that's just credit to how good Alabama is. But um, I like Auburn's matchup against Alabama later in the year after watching them because I think Alabama counteracted Broom with bringing in Cliff. I think they're going to use Broom back on Nelson. What's his name? The
Grant
North
Nelson.
Dakota. Grant. I think they're still going to match up Grant Nelson and Broom at the 4, and then make Cardwell guard Cliff, which it'll end up being a split. We could talk college basketball for hours. We won't. We're about to get out of here, but yeah, I think I'm gonna take Auburn to cover the 4.5. If they shoot good from 3, which they did in one scrimmage, they didn't. They win. If not, they probably lose. Either way, it's one of those games that doesn't hurt them. I'm kind of glad they adapted the Alabama model of scheduling these tough games because in the end, they don't hurt you if you lose them. They only help you if you win them. And in fact, they help you even if you lose them. So, yeah, I'm going to take Auburn plus 4.5. I hope they win. I'll be watching the Alabama LSU game until halftime and then watching that one.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball season.
Like Taylor was talking about, we'll start doing more basketball breakdowns for sure. College football's kind of winding down, and we'll kind of have separate videos for that where we just talk about that straight up because we can probably have a good little session on that and just talk about the bigger games. But we're gonna go ahead and go into our sneaks for the college football weekend, and then we'll have our lock. So I'll start off with my first sneak. I have Iowa minus 5.5 against Cal. I think they covered that. I was playing really good. Their offense actually looked decent with a third string quarterback, I think. I like them. Cal's not that good. I think they covered 5.5. Who wants to go next?
Did you do your sneaks or your lock?
Sneak.
My one sneak this week is Clemson to cover versus Virginia Tech. It's their 6.5 points. I think they win by a touchdown. That's all I have.
Okay, Max.
Mississippi State to cover 24 points against Tennessee.
Say that again.
Say it again.
Mississippi State to cover 24 against Tennessee.
Cool.
Okay.
I like that. Mississippi State's been
I
playing
do
a lot
too.
better.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, Tennessee hasn't really blown anybody out, so
Not since the beginning.
I'm going to bank on that.
I like that. I like that a
Mississippi
lot.
State's giving teams
Yeah.
run for their money, Texas and Georgia. My other one is Duke plus 3 against NC State. I think they'll probably win that game, so that'd be a money line. Give me Duke money line against NC State. Anybody got anything else?
Not till my locks. I'm good on sneakies.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'll get started with the locks. My lock this week is Utah money line against BYU. Utah's going to beat BYU at home. They always do something like this every single year. They have a really good defense. BYU's offense is good. I just think this is one of the games that's going to happen. It's just going to. I don't know why. It's just going to. Give me Utah.
And that's the one real quick that BYU could still bounce back from. I think in the end BYU could lose that and still beat Iowa State in the Big 12 title game.
Actually, change it. Give me Utah cover plus 4. Sorry.
Okay.
Instead of money line. Kind of give me some room to wiggle around.
Real quick, I'll go for my lock. They looked really disappointing last week. I think they're going to take it out on this team, Washington, who's just good, not great. 13. I think Penn State actually explodes this week more.
Ooh.
Wins by more than 13. That's my lock of the week. I think Penn State actually going to look really good.
Yeah, most likely.
They need to. They also need to. This is when you. This is the cool thing about the playoff. This is when you need to look good. You know, instead of just win by 3, you need to win by 15, because you're trying to make sure you get ranked over Tennessee or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Max.
Is South Carolina covers 3.5 versus Vandy. South Carolina is going to eat Vandy's asses. Their defense is going to just slobber all over them.
Slob on the knob, like corn on the cob.
I mean, kinda. Not exactly.
I do like that. I like Vandy's, South Carolina's defensive line getting after Pavia with that kind of hurt ankle. That's a good
I
take.
I agree.
All right. Well, that has been the podcast. That is the weekend's over. We'll see y'all Thursday for our NFL picks. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's week. Until then, see y'all later.
Goodbye.